friends, thank you for joining me for Benchmark Unit 7, Week 2. We are reading Building the Transcontinental Railroad by Max Prince. That is found on page 6 through 8. So today we're just going to be doing context clues, and for that, you know that you have to first kind of try to figure out the definition of the words on your own, and then we're going to look them up. So we're going to get our piece of paper. I want you to write in your heading, context clues. We are going to put our first and last name at the top. And the date. Now your date might be different than mine depending on when you are watching this video. Okay. So for context clues, this is kind of how we need to set this up. So for number 1, my word that I'm looking for, these are in paragraph 1. I'm going to find the word require, and I'm going to jump down a couple of spaces and write my number 2. Engineer. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to find these words. So one of them I have right here circled, require, and then the other one is right here, engineer. And I'm going to kind of read around them to try and figure out what they might mean. It would require money, a team of engineers, armies of workers, and a leader. So it would require money. Sounds like it's something maybe you have to have. So I'm going to write something you have to have or need. Number 2, Judah was a young engineer who had built railroads in the East. So Judah was a young engineer who had built railroads. So an engineer, I think, is maybe someone who builds things. Okay, so now that I have my definitions, I'm going to skip one line and I'm going to write the words again, right underneath my definition of the words. So skip a line. Now I'm going to actually look them up, and you guys will be using your computers. I'm going to use my phone because it's what I have available. So when you go to your Google, in the search bar, you put the actual word. So require, and then followed by definition. So the word and then definition. And that should pop up a little dictionary. So the definition of require, need for a particular purpose. So that is my actual definition of require. Need for a particular purpose. So I was pretty close. Something you have to have or need. and the actual definition is need for a particular purpose. I'm excited that I got really close. You do not have to have the correct definition. It's not going to affect your grade. It's just something that I want you guys to practice so that we can kind of start to figure out any words that we don't know on our own while we're reading. So for engineer, I'm going to do the same thing. Engineer, followed by the word definition. So engineer definition. And it is a person who designs, builds, or maintains engines, machines, or public works. So that was something, I guessed it was someone who builds things. The actual definition is kind of somebody who builds things or maintains them, but it also has engines or machines. That's something that I didn't actually think about. There is the word engine in engineer, so it makes sense that they would be working on or building engines. So a person who designs, comma, builds, comma, separating all my ideas, or maintains engines, machines, or public works. So this is how we do it, guys. Context clues. First, write your definition, and you want to do this before you actually look it up because you want to make sure that this is your idea and not change it because you already looked it up. I want to know what you think. So first do your definitions and then come back and do the actual definitions. Now, the words that you are going to be looking at, you are going to do your context clues for the word convinced, and that can be found in paragraph 2. You are going to do the word fierce in paragraph 4. Then you will do announced in paragraph 5. And your last word affordable in paragraph 7. So these are your words. You do not have to read the entire text. We've already read it once or twice. So you're just going to these paragraphs and you're skimming for these words, and then you're just going to read around them. Read the sentence they're in. If you're still confused, you might read the sentence before or the sentence after, but that's it. We're not reading the whole text again. Just find these 4 words, write your definitions, what you think these words mean or might mean, and then look up the actual definitions, okay? All right, when you're done, just go ahead and take a picture of your paper and upload it to Canvas for me. All right, thank you for joining me.